So I want you guys to be aware. You guys are to come in, your homework assignment for Monday, let's start with reading. Okay? Homework assignment for Monday, or Tuesday, sorry, is going to be to read the chapter on cooling. Okay? So that's part 1. Part 2, you have 2 sets of diagrams that need to be added to your binder, okay, that you have not done yet. So you are going to have 12 sections cut north to south, looking either west or east, that show a window, that show the line of the sun at all 12 months of the year on the 21st, okay? And you are to do a calculation that tells me how much surface area is being lit by the sun. Okay, so every one of the 12 diagrams is going to have a calculation that says this many square feet, this many square feet, this many square feet. Okay? They are all to be labeled with the month and day of the year that you are taking the section of. So that's one set. You are to have 12 little vignette diagrams. Those you can put on 2 sheets, so 6 per sheet, showing the sun shadows in relationship to the shape of your property and the topo lines. Okay? And that you can just take straight out of Rhino. Those are going to be just pictures. Okay? And you need to print them, put them in your binder. Now going to your binder. So I asked you guys to get a binder, right? The binder needs to include all of the research and all of the work that you've done to date, including like your current plans and stuff. So site plan, everything. So like today, I looked at several people, right? And several people had catch basins that were this big. Other people had catch basins that were about that big. So something's off between those two. But when I asked for the stormwater calculations, people didn't have them here. By creating this work binder for the project, all that stuff's going to be here. So the work binder should have your water calculations in it. And remember, you got 2 different water calculations. You've got the one at 1 inch per hour and the other one at 1.5 inches per hour, right? 1.5 and 3. So you got the two calculations. And you need to have the diagrams that show all of the sheets from the PG&E website. You need to have the pertinent diagrams from WeatherSpark printed and put in there. It needs to be organized so we can quickly get to that information. Okay? So one thing that I noticed as I walked around to everybody's sites is pretty much you're going to put what you've got so far aside and you are going to start over. Okay? It's not that it didn't help you, because you know how big everything is and you know how much of it there is to deal with. But here's something that I saw in almost everybody's scheme. According to the book, and according to the lectures that you guys have had, and according to that diagram that we saw in Climate Consultant, which direction should your heat gathering windows face? South. I want to see a show of hands. How many of you actually have the wall, the south wall, the building wall facing exactly south?
What do you think?
Yeah. When I looked at most people's things, right? If that's north and that's south, most people had their building turned like this. So south is that way. Their main aperture wall, the wall that's going to contain the glass for the solar heating, was facing to the southeast. Now, you guys all figured out how hard it was to block the eastern sun, right? Do you want a condition like that? Because then you have to deal with putting other things in front of it and stuff, and you might block the view. The cleanest way to initially approach this is to just take the building and face it to where the main wall faces south. The diagram that you guys saw last Tuesday looked like this. Elongation in the east-west with a large wall facing south. Big windows here. Smaller windows here. Almost no windows here. And then there was a tree. Right? And a tree. Remember that diagram?
Yes.
Now that's an overly simplified thing. Right? But sometimes it helps to start with the simple and work your way towards the complex. I'm sorry, Natalie, did you have a question?
Why would the northern windows be smaller if there's no sun coming through them? Like, shouldn't those also be your?
Okay. The northern windows can be larger if you want them to be, but one thing that you have to understand is that a piece of glass, even the most efficient piece of glass that you can get, has an insulation value of about 1, maybe 1.5. The lowest wall that you are allowed to build in California, I think, is R13. So it has an insulation value of 13, where glass at its highest efficiency might have an insulation value of 1. So can you imagine if you built a house in Claremont and it was all glass facing all directions? You could block the sun from getting in, but what would happen when the outside air temperature is 40 and you want to maintain a 72 inside? Your insulation value would be nothing, right? It'd be you would just be literally radiating heat out into the environment. Now, we don't concern ourselves, we haven't in the past concerned ourselves too much with large expanses of glass, but I'm just trying to answer your question. So if there is a reason why you would want to have a large window facing north, then let's talk about it. Maybe the pool's back there and you want to have, a big window facing back there. Do you need a big window facing back there out of the dining room? Maybe not. Do you need a big window facing out of the kitchen? Maybe not. Living room, maybe. Master bedroom, maybe, if it's to the north, right? So there's different purposes and different functions. Okay, so are you guys clear? When you guys come back, you're going to have a very nice, neatly organized binder, and all the paper you're going to put in it's going to be at least 1/4 of an inch thick. There's a lot of sheets. Okay? Because you really, like all this stuff that you guys currently have, these, like, I don't know whose this one is, I'm going to grab it. Right? So this one here, you guys all have these. Don't leave them at home. Fold it up, 3-hole punch it, stick it in your binder. That way it comes back with you every time. Everything's going to end up in that binder. And that binder never, ever, ever gets left at home. Okay? Now, I was told that that we did not create an upload location for the stuff that was due at 4 o'clock this morning. Is that right? There was an upload place.
Yeah.
But it's not authorized that was tagged.
Click the submit assignment
Right.
on the top.
So there was a place to submit the assignment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Never mind. So someone told me there wasn't. So.
He